The pronghorn antelope has always been an underrated animal in North America, in my opinion. They are an absolutely gorgeous animal that looks like they have each been hand-painted. The pronghorn antelope is the fastest land animal in North America, running at bursts of speed of up to 55 miles per hour. They stand at 3.5 feet tall and will only weigh up to 150 pounds fully grown. On the conservation status list, they are of least concern. The pronghorn antelope is the only horned animal that sheds its horns every year, which are made up of hair. Every year, I get more and more addicted to chasing these animals in the wide open plains of eastern Montana.
Jason and I both drew tags in this unit for archery, so it could be pretty fun. I like it. Setting up a blind on a water hole, and there's 2 big 6-point holes, and Jason and I are up in 2 weeks for those too. So, I should get out of here now and start. Be back in the morning, try to knock one of these animals down. I'd like to see that one bull of the spot.
The pronghorn antelope thrive in a terrain that no can. Their hair protects them from extreme cold temperatures and winds in the winter, and also protects them from extreme heat summer months. They are a fascinating creature, and I look forward to chasing them more and more every year. This year, we were going to concentrate on water. I've never hunted antelope over water, and in the spot that we were concentrating in this year, water was few and far between. Dude, I can't even, it hasn't even set in, you know? It's opening day of Montana's antelope archery season. This is the second time in my life I've been able to get it done on opening day, and this was Barrett is set up in a blind about 5 miles this direction on a water tank that we feel really confident in. Ben and I were checking all our other blind setups, making sure that they were still good to go. We hadn't been here for a couple weeks since Dawson and I came and set them up, so we showed up, checked everything, put Barrett in a blind. On the way to pick him up, we spot this buck, and Ben says, "You want to go after him?" And we're like, "Yeah, might as well. It's not going to take us this long." So we hop out of the truck, collect our thoughts, made a sneak in, and just kind of textbook, this buck bedded. I happened to see where he went down, right next to that juniper. He circled, actually came closer, and I ranged him again, dead on 60. pulled back, I just felt confident. I saw my bubble go into place. I watched the pin settle. I felt good, let it fly, and absolutely drilled this thing. So let's go up and see what we got. This year started out a lot different than expected. The very first arrow I even nocked within the hunting season resulted in me killing a beautiful antelope buck. And it was over before I even knew it. It was an incredible feeling to be done that quickly. You know, normally I'm the guy that drags it out to the end, but not this year. The first sneak all paid off. With having my buck down and getting it taken care of, we were able to really concentrate on Barrett at that point and put him right where he needed to be to try to fill his tag with the little amount of time he had to spend in the field this season. That next morning, Barrett and I decided to sit in the blind all day. We had taken enough food and water and supplies to make it all day. We knew if we just put in the time and sat there, that an antelope buck was bound to show up. Throughout the day, we witnessed a series of antelope come in and drink and water, but just never the buck that we were looking for. He was looking for that next class, you know, something 14 inches or better, which we knew we could do out here. We had seen a number of good bucks. So we knew if we were patient, a good buck was bound to show up. You know, sometimes you just don't know what it is that those animals sense when they're coming in or moving through the terrain. They have that sixth sense to stay alive and figure out when there's danger around. And that's exactly what this buck did. He smelled a rat and offered Barrett no shot. Hunt smarter with the new era of GPS. Once again, Barrett and I found ourselves in the blind at daylight, right where we had left that buck the week before. Almost instantly, we had action. More action than we had the first day we sat here. So far, nothing that we were after. But the good news was there was a lot of traffic.
Jason and I are sitting out here. It is the 4th of September. Yeah. We were here about 2 weeks ago. And one of the nicest antelope bucks I've seen comes into the water hole right over here. Just started to drink. I was just getting ready to release. And a cow came in and chased him off. So here we are actually at what just came over the hill right there on the top of the hill. Just a doe, but got some more coming over the hill right now. Kristen drew an antelope tag for this unit also, but she can't start on until tomorrow. So if we can get this done today, I'm going to try to sit with her tomorrow and get her first antelope ever, but they're coming in hot right now, so we better get into stealth mode here. Oh, one last sip of coffee before we do this.
This time of year, it's a little bit before the rut really gets going. So just because you're seeing does doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see a buck with them. Hunt smarter with the new era of GPS. Just as we were starting to go a little bit stir-crazy in the blind and wondering if this was really going to happen, even though we had seen a lot of antelope, just nothing of that next class had presented itself. And then, off to our left, we started to see a herd start to gather on the far horizon. And in the back was a beautiful pronghorn buck. After watching them for a few minutes, we could tell that they were committed our direction. So it was just a matter of Barrett getting ready and waiting for the shot.
Well guys, here's my 2015 archery antelope. I couldn't be more happy about this because actually I've never even harvested an antelope with my bow. I've just been lucky enough to do it during rifle season. I just get a little too busy to bow hunt, and it took a long time for this buck to finally show up. But I am really happy because I typically don't like to leave an animal overnight, because antelope to me is definitely my favorite, one of my favorite to eat. And when you're in this time of year, August, September, which it's first week of September, it can spoil real fast. So I am super happy about this buck, and I do thank you, Jason, for sitting with me all day.
It sometimes takes a common passion in adverse conditions to want to overcome something together that builds these friendships and bonds together. And why hunting connects people like nothing else can. And it's those few times, those few days, you don't get as many days, but the days that you do get, you begin to cherish more. And those bonds are built more. And that time that Barrett and I spent in the blind together talking about life, talking about his new baby girl and how his business was growing, was times that you'll never get back. I found out in life that you never really have the time to do it. You never really have the money or the time to take off of work. You just have to do it. And never once have I said I regretted it.